That's the way I roll. It's like they charboiled them in ass is what it was like. Woo! Woo! Hello and welcome to the Oyasumi podcast, the only podcast brought to you at night. The only one. Don't even go looking for the other ones because they're not there. You won't find them. Okay. This is the nighttime podcast for nighttime. You can see I've popped my top off. And you may be wondering why you're not. But I'm going to tell you, it's because it's summer. Okay. It's because it's summer. And when it's summertime, you pop your top off. And if you don't pop your top off, you're a goddamn fool. I'll come out and say it. I'm the only one who will tell you the truth. If your top's not been popped and the weather be nice, you can up and go fuck yourself. Here we are. It's another year in bed as we normally do this podcast. And it's another mental health crisis. Woo! That's why I do these. That's why I do these, baby. Because I'm on the edge. I'm on the edge of insanity. And I need some self-worth. I need to tell myself, you can do something. You can create something. So here we are. Depressed as fuck today. That's the truth. That's what I'm coming at you with. What I do about it? I did get moving. Took me some convincing. But that's what you got to do, when you wake up. And you don't want to do anything but lay in your misery and die. You got to get moving. That's step number one. That's what I did this morning. And then, here's something good that happened. Not a lot good happens. But the Super Mario Brothers movie came out available to watch. I pre-ordered it on my phone, and I got it, and I downloaded it, and I watched it because I love it. And a lot of people are saying, hashtag not my Mario. I'll tell you what, Chris Pratt, you may not have been my first choice to play Mario. In fact, my brother's assessment of the film was that they just threw darts at a chart of actors and was like, hey, that's who's going to play these characters. And while that's an accurate assessment of the film, and while it may be a cash grab to get millennial parents to take their children to see a movie that fills them with nostalgic pride, okay? While it may be a shameless nostalgia orgy, it worked on me. I'll tell you what. The first little Mario said the da 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 da. When that comes up, when you hear the little coins and the little bells and the little noises that you played since you were shitting in diapers, okay? It's like heroin going into my veins. Like little nostalgia heroin. It was fantastic. It was absolutely fantastic. Mental health crisis. Yeah, we're going through it. Yeah, let's go through it again and again, baby. Till we come out on top. Sadly, that's never going to happen. That might not be true. Christ. I watched the shit out of again, by the way, I saw it in theaters. And I loved it, even though there was no plot to be heard of. I also found it strange that Mario arrives at the Mushroom Kingdom and was like, hey, help me, Peach. And she was just like, okay, cool. Come with me. Just, I don't know. Immediately accepts a mustachioed humanoid to come along with her on her quest. I guess they're all humanoid. I guess another human. Because Princess Peach is human, I suppose. I don't know. Fucking, it gave me nostalgia boners. And I used that erection to watch the fuck out of that movie. And I loved it. Anyway, I watched it in theaters. Loved it. For the first time, I had never done this before, okay? I had never gone to the theater. Okay, so they have theaters now. They go, and by that I mean the theaters that you sit in the chairs and it moves you around with the motion that's going on in the movie, and the chairs vibrate. Okay, which give me it's very arousing. So you get sexual pleasure from it as well. And it's an all-around great time. Okay? Pretty good movie to see that in. It vibrates. Oh! The other thing is, those son of a bitchin' chairs heat up, dude. They heat up. You can feel it on your back. I actually thought that my chair was... I didn't know that I didn't know it had that function. And I thought that my chair was I thought it was broken, and that the components inside, the vibrating components that were giving me good feelings inside, were broken, and that they were like, I thought my chair was going to explode, and I was in for the ride. I was ready for that chair to explode. I was ready to die at the Super Mario Brothers movie. I accepted death. Right there. Watching Bowser shithouse a penguin. I was ready. But also... Oh, fuck. I lost my train of thought. Accepting death in the movie theater. Yeah, I really did. I was like, this is a good way to go out. This is befitting to my character. To die alone as a 30-year-old man watching a children's movie. Alone again. God, what a way. What a way to die that would have been. Kind of wish that's how it happened. Be kind of sick. And sad. Super sad. Yeah. Best not to dwell on it too much. Hey? Oh, God. Oh, I'm going down the drain. I'll tell you that much. I am unwell. Fuck, what was I going to say else about the movie? It's about the movie, about the chair. I got a small popcorn. I got a cherry Coke. I always get a cherry Coke while I'm at the theaters. If you don't get a cherry Coke when you're at theaters, every time, that's the only acceptable way to drink a cherry Coke. And B, that's the only acceptable thing to drink at a movie theater is a cherry fucking Coke. Or a Sprite. I'll have a Sprite, actually. A small bag of popcorn. I was by myself. I said that as if I haven't and won't again crush a giant tub by myself. Because I have. And I will. I said that like, ooh, of course. Of course I made a conscious choice that day. But usually, 9 times out of 10, I'll get the giant tub. And I will eat it myself. And sometimes, 2 out of those 10 times, I'll get a refill. I'll go back. I will get a refill of popcorn. I'll probably get through a third of the... I've crushed both before. But I also got through a third of the second one. You know? That was pretty good. I'm a disgusting American with disgusting American habits and portions. And I love it. Okay? I love it. Because this is America. This is what you do in America. You eat and die. You die and then you eat. You eat and die. You eat so much that you eventually pass into the beyond. Fuck, what the fuck else about the theater experience, watching alone, thinking I'm gonna die at 30? Well, it's just gone. That's life. Some things enter your brain, enter your life, and then they're just gone forever. And that's where radical acceptance helps. You got to accept that thought is gone. Sometimes that's hard. Real hard. Real hard to do. Big feelings in my asshole. Any tits. What are we talking about here? So anyway, today I rewatched the Super Mario Brothers movie. Still fantastic. God bless Charlie Day. New film. I want to see. Where he's like a Charlie Chaplin type character. And he doesn't speak none. He goes through the movie and he doesn't speak none. And it's called Fool's Paradise. I really want to see that. Speaking of movies coming up. I think it might be out. Maybe I should have done that today. Maybe I should have gotten some human interaction. Do you know how many humans I've talked to today? Me. Is that healthy? No. But we're doing it. Okay. I'm trying to get better. I moved my body. So I did something. Anyway, I watched the Super Mario Brothers movie. I did some outside stuff. I did some activities, and I came back in. I played Super Mario 64 is what I did. And then I played the original on my Switch. Although I do have it still on NES. I've had that since I was a child. That's why I had a nostalgia boner through the whole thing. Because I've played Super Mario since I could fucking use hands. Since I could use my thumbs, I've been playing Mario. Oh, I remember what I was going to say. But see, sometimes... And that's the other thing about life, okay? Sometimes things come back into your life. Like thoughts. Sometimes thoughts come back into your life. Sometimes things come back into your life. And that also you have to accept. You have to accept that life is chaos all the time and that you have no control over anything. But you can control some small things. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. And you have to accept that. And I have to accept that. Acceptance. Any tits. So I was watching in the theaters, watching the Super Mario Brothers movie. Like I felt like a little kid. I was like, "Oh, Luigi! They're taking Luigi." I thought that. Those were my thoughts. I suspended the fuck out of my disbelief, and it was fantastic. Not a great movie. By it's not Citizen Kane, but I liked it. You can hate me for that. That's just gonna have to be okay. Anyway, it was a Super Mario kind of day, I suppose. That's all I'm trying to say. My little brother's coming into town today. I love my little brother. Cute kid, beautiful kid. How long's it been? 15 minutes? Try to do 20 minutes. I'm trying to do 20 minutes. Even though I have nothing to talk about except for Super Mario. And I've talked about that. Talked about that ad nauseum today. Every time I'm having a mental health crisis and I'm about to kill myself. But I won't. I do this podcast for catharsis. So one, I don't go crazy talking to myself with my own thoughts. Because if I'm not saying this, if I'm not talking to you right now, this is just all in my head. It's just me in my head telling me that I'm a piece of shit, and that I'm not worthy of love, and that can be very harmful. That can be very harmful. I've got to be like the tatau on my chest, which is a manta ray. Manta rays flow they adjust. Okay, manta rays adjust with the water. You see, is there a change in the sea? Well, that manta ray it adjusts the sea and the magnetic, whatever energies and bullshit in the sea. That's what the manta ray does. That's what I'm gonna have to do. Adjust. Get a different flow going. That's what I do. Just go with that. Go with that flow, the natural flows of the oceans and waves. That's why I have this tatau. It's one of the reasons I have this tatau. The other being it looks cool. And the other is to symbolize my little niece, little Vanna Ray. Okay? Who's precious. Vanna Ray, manta ray. You get what I was going for. And if that's trashy, if I'm trash, so be it. Let me tell you something about Super Mario. Super Mario can be Chris Pratt. Super Mario can be Bob Hopkins, you know, who was also Super Mario. Bob Hopkins was a better actor. Terrible movie. Gave me very little joy. This movie did give me joy. So, I guess what I'm trying to say is, you can have the better movie with your better actor, with your Bob Hoskins and your John Leguizamos. And the movie around you can just be a pile of dog shit. You know? You can throw a dart at Chris Pratt. Say he's hot right now. He's got the Guardians. He's got the Parks and Recreations. Right? He's got the, I don't know, space movie with Jennifer Lawrence. I don't think that did good, though. I never saw it or heard about it. Which doesn't mean it didn't do good necessarily. But it didn't look good enough for me to go see it. So, that's something. He's got all this. And I suspect they're like, that's a big name. Let's get him in. And if it gives me joy, then so be it. Fucking love Charlie Day. Love Charlie Day. Love him. I love Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Greatest show of all time, in my opinion. If not the second greatest show. Him as Luigi, I'll fuck it up. I'll fuck it up all day. Is it weird? Would my brother say it's weird? Sure. Would the people on the internet say it's weird? Sure. But it transported me to a place where for a little bit, for just a little bit, I could pretend I'm not me. I could pretend I'm Super Mario. Punching stars. Jumping over barrels. Fucking princesses. Being a princess. I want to be a princess. That's true, but I don't know how I got there. Hmm. Well, the fact remains, even if Super Mario isn't a princess, that I can be a princess. And I can live in castles. And I can eat cuisines, if only for a short time at the theaters. Escapism isn't all bad. Too much escapism, that's probably not good. But a little bit. You go to the movies, you remember your childhood, it's fine. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man. Let's try to get out of this. Let's try to get out of this hole that we made for ourselves. This is gonna be dark. Because I'm a dark little angel. I have the Super Mario Lego set, dude. I'm Super Mario for life. I've got the original cartridge with Duck Hunt. I've got Duck Hunt and the little Nintendo gun, the Nintendo gun. It's actually called the Zapper. If you look at the little handbook. I've got the Super Mario Amiibo, dude. I've got Super Mario 3D World on my Switch. I'm ride or die for a couple things. Super Mario's on that list. Hellboy's on that list. And I actually just saw, because I follow Mike Mignola, the creator of Hellboy and the comic books, the Hellboy comic books. I saw he posted that they made another Hellboy movie. Even though the last one tanked so fucking hard. That didn't give me joy, that movie. Didn't give me much joy. Give me a little bit of joy and a little bit of parts. Here's what I'll say about the last Hellboy movie that they tried to make with the guy from Stranger Things. Because he was so hot right now. Well, he was hot then. He was like, it was the thing. It was a good choice. Like the actor, he was, he's good. He was a good choice. But I'll tell you what, they didn't get the tone of Hellboy correct. They added more humor, which is nice, but it wasn't good humor. It wasn't well thought out, I don't think. It played like an action movie when it needs to not play like an action movie. It needs to play like a horror. I'll tell you what, the movies that the Ron Perlman movies were fantastic. They had a lot of romance in those movies. The books don't, but it worked because they got the dark tones of the horror in there. That's what I don't think they understood in that last one. They were just like, let's make an action movie. Hellboy's not an action movie. It can be a romance. It can have action elements. But its central theme is horror. So I hope that they get that right in this third, I guess, second reboot that they're no David Harbour. It's not a sequel to the last one, which is good because it was a pile of shit. They're rebooting it again, and they're using the story from the books that I didn't like the most, but is the creator's favorite. Also, it's like a whole Appalachian thing that I just didn't relate to at all. But objectively, it's a good story. Maybe I was too creeped out by it. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe I was too creeped out. Maybe it did its job correctly, and I was too creeped out by what I was reading. So maybe it was good. I never read that one a second time. I probably should. Anyway, they're portraying apparently a younger, wandering Hellboy, which is also a thing from the books, and it is cool. I could talk about Hellboy all day long, but I've grown weary. I've got the Birdo Lego. Birdo from Super Mario. Her superpower is ovulation, and I think that's super cool. Anyway, all in all, Super Mario, bad movie, gave me good feelings, so it was passable. It was good. I talked about Super Mario a lot. I do want to say something that I just thought of. Something that I just when you just realize a feeling that you've been feeling, and it just hit that you just. That's why I like doing this sometimes, is that sometimes I'll record. I'll be like, this is the feeling that I've been having. That's why talking is a good thing. Let's talk. So let's talk. Let's talk, you and me. Let's talk about the feeling of being needed. I don't feel needed by anyone or anything. I feel like if I disappeared, everything would be fine. And maybe that's not true. In fact, I should probably tell myself that that's not true. Because it's not, I guess. Because everything has everything has reactions and consequences. But boy, is that not an easy thing to realize when you're just sitting in it. When you're just sitting in it and you're thinking, I'm not needed. No one needs me. So let me tell you something. If you're feeling that way, oh look, Peach is right there, little Lego Peach. Anyway, if you're feeling that way, and you're feeling like you're not needed or wanted, you are. Because first of all, you're needed by yourself, and secondly, other people in the world that you don't. I read this the other day. In a throwaway, like Insta bullshit, fucking therapy post. It was, you haven't met all the people who are gonna love you yet, and isn't that great? So I guess what I'm trying to say is that someone out there needs you. Someone out there, maybe lots of people need you. Maybe you're going to write the next book and someone will read that and be like, that got me through a hard time. Maybe you're going to go to the coffee shop tomorrow and you're just going to smile at someone. Maybe that smile gives that other person their faith in humanity back, dude. Fucking what if? You know? So you're needed, is what I'm trying to say. And if nothing else, I need you. I need you here, first of all, to make it not seem crazy that I'm just talking into the air. But also, just if no one else has told you today, I need you. I need you. Let me tell you something. I don't feel it. But that's okay. You've probably had enough of my stupid tits. I've had enough of my stupid tits. So let's you and me, let's call it a night. How about that? So I'll say to you, I'll see you again. Oyasumi. Have a good night.